There you have it, the time that all of you have been waiting in terms of local football. And talk about Thursday evening, it's all about Libhola Eswatini. Hello and welcome once again this evening, where we look at different aspects of football in the country, be it development, be it what was happening mostly yesterday, which was the MTN Premier League 2023 awards. And also we'll touch on the national team, knowing that they've got less than 2 weeks before they take their journey to the KwaZulu-Natal for the 2023 COSAFA tournament. That's the team that we managed to visit earlier on at Lobamba. As you can see them in their yellow outfit, they were in a preparation, so we get a chance later on to talk about that. And then yesterday, the bigger picture was on the champions, Green Mamba, the 2022-2023 champions, knowing that they walked away with 1 million emalangeni. It was a chance also to see who is the best coach, who is the player of the season. These awards you're seeing on the screen are a true reflection of how the event unfolded yesterday, with of course the main team, Green Mamba, winning big on the day, and they know what it means for them to defend the title. But before we get on to that, we have a special discussion also to talk about development. When we talk about development, we talk about people who've got passion about the local football. One person in particular is our legend here in the Kingdom of Eswatini, Absalom Skaratindwa, knowing his days at the national team, and his days in the Republic of South Africa playing for teams like Kaizer Chiefs. So he has got now an initiative where we can over and over talk about it, where now there's a Skaratindwa Foundation. This coming weekend, there are games that will be taking place. Remember, we've got the under-17 girls and the under-15 boys. So he's going to be here in the studio because he drove all the way from South Africa to here to come here in the country just to give us an update. And maybe at some point later on in the show, we get a chance just to steal his inside information about what he thinks Seflam should do heading to COSAFA. Mr. Tindwa, our legend, this evening.
So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to first of all see you and no perfume. It's always good to be at home because it's nice and relaxed here.
What's the feel when you just cross the border,
not only the border. With bank, we now realize that we're heading home. And our hearts start celebrating that at least we'll be at home, we'll be able to sleep peacefully, for quite a long time. Because when you're in Johannesburg, as soon as you hear, it's Polinyana, but when you're at home, you relax and you can even sleep until about 10.
I was talking to, just another joke before we get into the business of the day, I was talking to William Kulketrong, saying that for him, the moment he enters the body, even the smell is different. He can tell that he's home. Is it the same with you?
Fortunately, I have a friend. A friend is from Malawi. He says Swaziland is similar to Malawi. He always wants to come here. It's when we go back that he starts saying, "Oh, where are we going?" Because the feeling is different. It's good to be home. It's good to be in Eswatini. Because home is home, but other than that, Eswatini is a different environment altogether.
Having played football at the highest level, that is Absalom Skaratindwa, and he's just going to tell us the overview behind this foundation. You're in partnership with KFC, who of course have played a huge role in trying to ensure that you meet these kids who are talented, be it girls and boys, at the point of their need. Now, this is 2023. You've worked with them for quite some time now. How is the progress so far? When you are seated, you are the director, you're the founder, you are behind the wheels of this foundation. How is the progress so far when you sit and realize that should I say your baby, though, what you came up with, the idea that you're trying to develop, how is the progress so far?
I want to start by thanking God for giving us the opportunity to have partners like the KFC. They are a very important part of what we're trying to do. But having said that, you mentioned earlier on that we've come for a weekend that is important to us. It's the highlight of what we're trying to do, and obviously the commitment, of the foundation. The partnership that we have, it enables us to showcase what these kids could do. So you mentioned people like us that we're fortunate that we ended up playing in South Africa. We started where these kids are, at school and in Dalama competition. And that is what we are all about. In Berlin, we're all about developing kids, giving them an option and a platform for them to express themselves. Because that is how kids, develop. And that is what has been happening. It's been going very well. Fortunately, we have boys that are promising boys that I personally think that eventually they'll do well for themselves as well as the families at home.
Mr. Tindo, I want to highlight that these are some of the images. I want to highlight that we're a country, we're still lacking behind. And then I think the initiative also involving under 17 girls was quite impressive. What's your reaction to that? Because now in terms of whatever their performance, we can't hide it. It's not really one you can be proud of. But the initiative of coming up with as under 17 girls is also the bigger picture to look at the future. To you, what's your reaction when you decided to say, you know what, we can't be doing for boys only. Let's also support the girls.
I get excited, and at times my eyes, they tend to shed some tears when you see girls like this. For us, it's important because we're now bringing a different dimensions, in terms of making sure that the girls play. And of course, they are not where we want them to be, but you start somewhere. There must always be a start, and we've given them an opportunity to at least have the under 17. We're excited in the fact that but at least we are recognized and we're given the opportunity to express ourselves and build and create and develop our talent.
We can't wait because some of the teams, female teams, but actually this is a great opportunity for them to come out and watch these girls because recruitment will be based on the performance of these young girls.
It's a Thursday. The finals are only playing on Saturday. It shows the unwavering, commitment that we have, because we know the potential that it has. These girls has, Let's give them the opportunity. Tournaments like this, it helps them realize that they're important. The importance then makes them want to work even harder. Look at what is happening there. They play because of the excitement and the commitment that they are showing. They are not where we want them to be, but they are going to get there, especially when we continue to give them these tournaments.
Now, we can talk about the girls, we can talk about the boys and everything, but there's a mission you have. You have one mission. What is the mission?
You mentioned that some of us ended up playing in South Africa. William is one of them. Ebushong is one of them. There are a lot of others. Where did it start? It started here. It started by making sure that we developed kids. Soccer has a very good history. Whether if you do well, you are bound to meet people that you never thought you would meet. For instance, Mina, fortunately because of soccer, the president of South Africa, I've met him. It is because of soccer. But other than that, you are able to support what? The family. Now, as a person, it builds you. When you train, it makes you fitter. So there are so many elements. And apart from that, the in thing. And when people kumnanzi.
I like on how on off record you don't put it on the shoulders to say I'm one of the legends Eswatini. You are the Mr. Tindo we know, just humble and know what it means. Now, let's talk about your relationship with the sponsor, because we tend, most of the time, we tend to take the glory and forget the people behind the initiative. The working collaboration between you and KFC. I can't really touch on how, if for the next 5 years you'll be still with them, but when you see them, we sit with them on the table. Are they happy with the results you're coming up with? Are they happy with how you're pushing the idea? But what's the collaboration between the two of you?
That's the beauty of the position that I find myself. Because we're dealing with the person that makes decisions. There's a gentleman, the Nigel, England. He's the one that we deal with. Because of the professionalism that we've tried to demonstrate. By the way, I don't do the serious stuff. There's a gentleman that I mentioned earlier on that I said he comes from Malawi, Guy. He's the one who does the work. But he does it. Because of that relationship that we've built over time, we are able to talk with them and plan together and make this thing succeed. It's a good relationship that we have. And fortunately for us, we work with people that are good and people that are committed. He was telling me the other day that Skara, I might be coming from outside, but I'm building a house like Eswatini because I like to be in Eswatini. That's the commitment that this gentleman wants to have.
The initiative also, Mr. Tindwa, of in as much as we're seeing the visuals, but that are taken within the Mbabane Manzini corridor. But this tournament actually goes all the way and to be able to pick players, these juniors, from also those little communities within Emakaya. And just to highlight that talent is not only within Mbabane Manzini corridor. You're trying to ensure that everyone gets a chance to take part of this initiative.
The last promo Konatsi, on the road. That's where we used to play. Yes. We used to play Makravel. When I look at that, where do these kids come from? It's neither here nor there. The fact that they are there, they are expressing that. Television. That means a lot to them. That is what builds kids. And that we want to thank you guys for getting involved in showing what these girls are doing. And that is what makes the child want to work even harder. So we want to thank you so much as well.
And I think when you talk about Skara Tindwa Foundation, the tournament, the boys and under 17, it's something that has been going on quite some time. But you at some point there was an initiative of seeing the excellence being able to be recognized, where, for instance, you take one or two players and attach them to some clubs internationally, especially in the Republic of South Africa. Is it something that is still there? To try and see talent and just take it out of the country.
Okay. Let me maybe take it back. We started the foundation in 2009.
Yes.
The purpose behind that is to have an academy. But as you probably know, having an academy, the one that we want to have, costs a lot of money. So we said, let's start somewhere. Hence, we then partnered with the school sports, now working. Now, we then said, whilst we are planning to start, we'll be starting soon, we'll be announcing soon, because we are identifying a place because we want to build the academy. We want to make sure that the kids, who's with the Super Sport, because of Amapep, but is with Super Sport. That is what we want to do. In fact, out of the girls and the boys that are going to win our medals, Chiefs, just to expose them to what Chiefs have done over the years. What that does is that it says to the kids, now if you work hard, this is what you would achieve. And we're hoping that whilst they're there, they'll meet the doctor, the chairperson. That person, when you meet him, it gives you a different feeling altogether. It's part of the excitement. But it doesn't end there. We want to soon make sure that the kids, we try and get them to play overseas. But you play there on what? On merit. We're not going to just move anyone, but we'll get there eventually. Because we are the kind of foundation that we're saying we're going to fight until the end.
You touched on something that I'm quite interested in when you attach these young talented players to teams like Kaizer Chiefs, and then you having a history with the club. Do they recognize that now you've taken an initiative to develop football? Nabakubo on the first hand, before they even meet the kids, what's their reaction towards you?
The beauty about it is that when we launched the foundation, we invited the chairperson. Yes. He's the one who blessed us. He's the one who came here and said, Skara, this is brilliant stuff that they're doing. By the way, we are in contact with them. And most of the things that we are doing, we talk to them. And we steal some ideas from them. And because of the relationship that we have, they still respect us as part and parcel of what they are trying to do. I'm not saying so I won't be able to tell you because when it comes to what we're trying to do here, I can tell you everything because that is what I do here.
Yeah, because I also want to touch on do they recognize that we have talent? By just watching these girls and boys, when you do have guests, they come with you and they watch these games. What's their reaction to the talent these boys and girls have?
Okay, that was the question. Yeah. Okay, but the one thing that they have, net development now. It's net development. What normally happens is that I see number one in number one. Nalo. If you number one, labang two, they are going to first give an opportunity to their ngobang say kaya lapha. Sine ufanele bese sithi lo mfana akabe la tu. Angaba la tu tawushalo ngoba is better. That's what we're aiming at. then lo mntwana uthola more chance than laba. Uyanganasela ukuthi
Ngiyakuva.
ngisho ukuthi when you are fighting for a number 10, mina ngihlala eJozi,
True.
vele ngidalele eJozi, wena ngihlala eSwatini. They are going to give bani lo waseJozi ngoba angisho they're not going to spend a lot of money. So that is what,
It makes
but they are
sense.
excited, you know, because they know that each and every time sithola umntwana lo sembisako uthi aqale lapha ku sikale simnike abangamfunike simdlulisele empini.
Oh, beautiful stuff. Well explained. Now, let's get to the business of the day this weekend. Parents are watching, the kids are watching on TV. They're saying Tindo is in the country. You're going to be watching them over the weekend. Yeah, how is the program looking like this coming weekend?
We're excited. We have a young girl, Eswatini, who he's the one who coordinates everything. But other than that, apart from the board that I have, beautiful board. I've got excellent people. Who guys, I'm always with him. So, Mavuso, on Saturday, on the 1st, ngithi mina ngicela nonke, everyone, come and see what we're trying to do. You're going to be excited. That's why ngitela, ngithi ngiyacela. Under 17 girls, finals. Under 15 boys, finals. Bese kuba
Drum majorities, yeah.
You know, other than that, if ufika laphana sitawuthi juggle the ball. If you juggled, mhlawumbe uyiphakamise ingawi more than the other guys, sikuniketa ini i-prize yokuya lapha e-Mountain View for a weekend.
True.
Uma washadi, uma ushadile uhamba nankosikazi wakho. Uma washadi sathi ujamba. So that is what we are going to be doing. Ngicela ke ukuthi ma viewers wethu, batali bethu, bhuti bethu, ngicela nithi ndobuka labantu.
They come in their numbers. Ungena kumahala, and it's all about developing girls and boys, be it football and drum majorities. And then quickly before we move on, at another point before I let you go, what's your reaction to the sponsors? I know you always want to say something about the sponsors. Thank them, then we leave.
We've got good people, very good. KFC have got good people. Umasingcongcotha isicela lo they give us. They've given us a lot of money. In fact, it's about 1,200,000. Siyaqala kuhlangana nima. Uma ngibona le mali ngacishe ngakhala. Ngoba ngathi ukuthi anfana bethu, but our children will be able to enjoy themselves, will be able to be rewarded. Because when you work hard, when you train, you want to be rewarded and you want to enjoy yourself. So they've allowed us to do that. And ngicela ukuthi una leo 100 rands, go and buy KFC so that money can then be transferred and be given to your kids, to our kids, because we are about developing these kids.
Now, that's about it. Now, knowing that we have a legend in the studio, he's a former Setangu Semnigachi player. We've got Kosafa coming up, and then I know you'll be watching. We've got the national team who are in Group A against Botswana, Namibia, and South Africa. I know there have been talks and everything, and probably you've heard about it, about the selection and everything. But going to this tournament, knowing the history of the tournament, knowing your expertise and everything, what will be your point? What will be the advice to the team, and what should be done heading to the tournament?
Okay. My thinking is that the coach or technical staff, they've got so many days to work with the boys. Now, the work starts at making sure that you prepare the boys. But there are different teams. We've got to make sure that that job is done properly. If they're trained properly, then the work for the coaches becomes better. Now, the player as an individual, you've got to make sure that during that period, you don't sleep. You think about that game. You imagine scoring goals. You imagine defending as a player individual. Because it starts from the individual player. And then if all the players that are there are in sync, chances they're going to do well. It's all about playing for Emaswat. It's all about playing for Wena, playing for Banbasekai. If you look at it that way, Sinenkos, play for the king as well. Chances that you are going to do well. Mina ngisadlala Botswana besibashaya nabo Lesotho besibashaya. Besingadlali kakhulu nabo Namibia. But these teams have developed as well. They are playing very well. But you can still beat them because it's about pride. It's about who you are. If you look at it that way, chances are that the sky is the limit.
Now, beautiful stuff. Scar, I know time is against us. We wish to have more time, but you're here during the weekend. We get a time to have a sit on one interview and extend more on this development project and also other topics. Thank you very much and welcome home, man.
And by the way, there are questions.
Thank you very much. Short break. When we come back, we'll talk about other topics, including the Sihlangu Semligati and the M10 Premier League Awards this past midweek. After the break.
Eswatini Biggest Bride 2023 siyahla siyavungula mhla ka-8 July eMavuso Trade Center kusukela nga-10 ekuseni kuyawulamla kusa. Ukhona Reese Madlisa, Mharimbe, Sbude Drum DJ, Fantasy, Mapi, Madamza, Lady Z, Mr. Kangaroo, Anglicali, Testo, Zulu D, Linda Dlamini, ISCT, DJ Kwani, Ling100 emalangeni ilithikiti kuphela. Akhona ePizza Club and Grill. What in a business utothengisa imidlalo yebantwana ne-car spinning 2023 Eswatini Biggest Bride. Shaya manje ku-7684 7634 kuvakabadi. Uyilethelwa iphilani Maswati ibambisene nemsakato wakangwane.
Now, back to you as our viewer. It's always an honor and a privilege to have a man of his caliber, Absalom Scaratino, just to give us an insightful information, beg your pardon, about what he's trying to do to develop local football, be it for girls and boys, and later on just give us an overview of what he thinks about Sihlangu Semligati. Now, talking about Sihlangu Semligati, they had a media day earlier on where issues were raised in terms of preparations for the upcoming Hollywood COSAFA Cup 2023 that begins on the 5th to the 16th of July this year. It's going to be taking place same venue as last year. This is the team that was training at the Technical Center Lubamba, the field on the side of the Technical Center. So I think the mentality of the coach is to try and use the natural turf so that the players can get used to the natural turf. Players like Bogo Akebonedi, so they are there, just everyone that you know from club level. So some of these players are actually from yesterday's event of M10 Premier League Awards. But this was a day for the media just to get an overview about the team. Their first game is against Botswana. They have Namibia, then they have got South Africa. They're in Group A alongside those three teams. So you can see players, in their focus mode. Some of the well-known faces already also in the category to perform in this year's COSAFA Cup. Remember, we have a record to push where, as a country, we are yet to make the COSAFA Cup final. We've never made it to the final of the COSAFA Cup, but we've made it to the semi-finals. We've made it to the, just making able to be able to get a bronze and all those that. So it is the team's dream to get it to the final. So the previous tournaments, we've had a top scorer in the tournament last year. So it means a lot for this team to push all the way and reach the finals. In as much as it is not easy because they're in a group of some of the well-known, teams and the upcoming players like this one, Pilani Mkondo, just knowing that, they have to go there and perform. People will be looking at them. The coach also was there, Dominic Kunene, telling us that it is their dream. Let's try to achieve what we have not achieved yet as a country and be able to make it to the final of the 2023 COSAFA Cup for the very ever first time as the Kingdom of Eswatini. Now, moving on to the business of yesterday's event, it was the 2023 M10 Premier League, where in the company of Premier League together with M10 Premier League, they managed to host the awards by just helping teams and players, individual players, to be able to celebrate their season 2022-2023. And for everyone, Green Mamba was able to win big. They were the champions. They had the player of the tournament. They have also the coach of the tournament, including some couple of men of the player of the month during the season they managed to get. So without wasting any time, without disturbing your focus wherever you are in your house, the comfort of your seat, let me just give you a chance to take a look at what unfolded yesterday at Sibane Hotel when M10 and PLE joined together just to celebrate the prayers and the season that was quite interesting, that was decided on the last day. You and I, we meet once again on Monday when we talk about other different sporting courts. Otherwise, I'm back. This is Fabrice Musonera, and this is how we play. Silvera Gamnanzi.
sure that the administration of football in the kingdom also continues to improve. If you were to ask the CEO of the Premier League, the number of engagements that we have during the course of the season, just to make sure that we see some improvements in the level at which the standard and the way at which football is being run and managed in the kingdom. So really appreciating all of you, and thanks again for making time this morning to come and join us. And I'm hoping when we engage again with the leadership of the Premier League going forward, perhaps we'll start to talk about how do we make sure that le mali le si sponsorship ikhule. It can only go up when we see a return in the investment that we put into the football. It is such a pleasure for us once again to convene in this fashion, celebrating our partnership, as well as this really electrifying season that we're coming to an end today. The 2022-2023 season was really an eventful season, both in the field of play as well as the negotiations that we had in the boardrooms. And I think our engagements with the leadership is that as we get into the next season, let us try and do things different. Let us try and bring in more and more resources into football. The sponsorship that MTN does is really not sufficient. I think certainly all of you will agree that in each of your teams, we need to see more. And so the engagement that we're having with the Premier League is purely for us to see what we can do to ensure that we see more resources coming into football. MTN remains committed to development of the sport in Eswatini, and believe that with the active and intentional cooperation together, we can make football great in Eswatini again. It is no secret that we have a number of challenges in particular, and I've addressed these challenges with the leadership of Premier League, challenges around ticketing systems, which gave us a number of issues during the year, and I'm believing that as we get into the new season, we're going to improve on the ticketing system through the mobile money platform, because we believe the efficiencies that have come through, and we actually shared this with the leadership of PLE, that if we can get all our teams, get all our friends to buy tickets through this particular platform, it makes it much more efficient and easier as well for us to be able to run an efficient sporting football in the kingdom in this year. So I think going to the 2023-2024 season, we should then be able to see an improved ticketing system that will work for Emaswati when they go and watch their favorite game. Some of the other highlights that we've achieved again in 2022-2023 season, we partnered with PLE to bring in a marketing officer. I'm sure he's somewhere around here. And this is really something that was very key, because I think over the years we've realized that since MTN as a sponsor, we really do not want to get into the business of ensuring that there's marketing of PLE across the country and where the games are. And so we did partner with PLE successfully, and we started having an individual and a person in a position that will then drive marketing throughout the season. And I believe this is then going to expand going to the next season. Again, let us try and again get more resources, PLE into this space, so that we make sure that we can improve on certain areas.
Bongane Mvubu, umdlali we-Rangers, asetangambili to receive his award. Uyasebenda la kuqala nje first round, second round usebende utabe sesiyajabula-ke masifika kulo suku lolu. Kuba bethe lokutabe sekuba ngumlingo. Sithathe singakahambi ngimcocele indzaba yenthuthwane nombungane. Kuthi kwendekani kulabantu lababili, ngoba kukhona labangade kuthi kadzeni tilwane take takhuluma, hayi ngaredcast bona ndabathu ukuthi tilwane take takhuluma. Ambile Mamba, Zuluni United FC, udlale waqama ngenyanga ya December. Josefa pro weqembu le Zuluni United. Thank you. Singera 23 umdlali waqama ngenyanga ya January, nomdlali weqembu le Milling Hotspurs Bambile Shongwe. Ngicela simphele Shongwe naye udlale waqama umdlali weqembu le Rangers. Kunesikhathi besivuma ngabe bathasicocela ukuthi ushaye amagoli udroble bandlu noma wende njani azawuthola umklomelo but ucontributile kule nyanga ya February kungako la akhona khona mfana sibili wa kunene. Thank you. Mbutuko Smoothies Dlamini udlale wagcama ngenyanga March 2023. Mbutuko Smoothies Dlamini Ezulwini United FC. Udlalile emaqembini lapha nalapha lona mdlali lo welcome khona lakhe Njabulo Dlamini Ilovo FC. Asimshayele intandla bengozi. Siyabonga kakhulu kuNjabulo Dlamini umdlali weqembu le-Ilovo FC. Ngicela simshayele intandla siboniso nzaba athi mathi afike la uthola khona iprize yakhe. Alright, siyabonga kakhulu kusiboniso utawuqhubeka gci asiphe badlali-ke bomkantshubovu lebagijime ka-Premier League labadlali bahlabana kuleti nyanga latawudimenshina. Thank you.
Siyabonga kakhulu Mthetho. Moving on to Premier League. Sinambabane Swallows FC Felix Badenhorst.
Lo bhutilo wabona goalkeeper ubona Sefo.
Noma.
Kude lenye indlela ayibonako. Wayibona ibhola ita etulu. Wabona ukuthi inyawo iphasi inhloko isebenzisa kakhulu. Ligoli lakhe lishana inhloko ushana ngenyawo. Begoalkeeper abanyenti bamesaba bayamati kakhulu. Bashangeka ke nabengekho ikhathi enkundleni.
Simovele to January. Green Mamba FC kunamcolisi Mkhondo.
Ukuthi kutasijabulisa kusingenyanga kube nabadlali abasuka lapha ekhaya lesita babona bagijima kubomakhelwane sibabona bagijima eNgilandi sibabona bagijima kuSpain kusithokothise kuva ukuthi kulunye abadlali ekhaya lena nayo bafuna ukubakhombisa hayi khashana gcina dudane nje la abakhombise ukuthi kunebadlali lapha ekhaya.
Moving on to February, Mbabane Swallows FC Kingsley Kwaiki.
Kakhulu manager Mbabane Swallows Sandile Zwane on behalf of Kingsley Kwaiki. Lelo manje ukwangathi usawubavusela ekhaya.
Utawubuya nuka lwakhe.
Utawubu hayi phela akasanokubula lelo nindiza.
Undembalo.
Akanuka nje lwandle lona utawehla anuka indiza abuya ekhaya.
Sibongela Njabulo Thwala.
Uyahlupha nobabelo nawabuthi ama-defenders namanyendi alakha Eswatini ataxoxela ngalo babelo. Uyakhathatha kakhulu sifakile isandla sokuthi iqembu leGimamba nanalo ligcine lifike la likhona liyiphakamisa lena nzebe emtheni. Ngilobonge abadlali lokhombisa ikhono lakhe lelisetulu kakhulu nokudumisela kwakhe lokukhulu kakhulu-ke ikakhulukathi Njabulo Thwala. Thank you.
Move on to April 2023 sibuyela khona kuMbabane Swallows lapho ithathwe khona ngokwakhe Mthethwa.
Liphethe indvo lisatawahlupha amaqembu lamanyenti lejaha leli likhombisana nelikhono egcile likhombisana nelikusasa lelihle muhle lo mdlali lona uyakhombisa ukuthi ngempela kolukhulu nasaphathele live laseSwatini nalata usikhombisa kona simfisela inhlanhla noma gijima Mbabane Swallows noma gijima kuhlangu somnikati kwangathi into ethi ngamhambela right.
Njabulo Makagula we-Green Mamba for the month of May.
Nomabona ahlonishwe cela ukuthi kanjalo naye simshayele intandla bandla athi nathi ayawuhlala phasi.
Sewabongile badlali all 16 of them from the first division and the Premier League for Kubauti Hlabani for the respective months.
I'm very happy and proud that the PLE has successfully completed the 2022-2023 MTN League and National First Division Leagues. That we were able to finish also in time. On the 14th of September 2022, we launched the new MTN sponsorship, and today we are here to witness the rewarding of the champions of both our Premier and National First Division leagues. May I express the PLE's sincere appreciation and gratitude to MTN for their steadfast support and continued sponsorship of our Premier and National First Division leagues over the past two decades. The PLE is working towards establishing the framework for the relationship with MTN to become commercially viable. We are humbled that MTN agreed to enter into a third-year sponsorship agreement which we launched in December 2022. This new agreement assured all 28 clubs of receiving a cash prize today. Lokusho ukuthi kude lo tawuhamba angakatholi imali namhla. Noma ngabe relegate, I will get something. And also, this agreement also enables the PLE to engage the brand and marketing manager to develop the commercial aspects of this relationship. Sibonga MTN ukuthi abone kuhle ukuthi asithwese umthwalo ukuthi sibe marketing manager. Lokusho ukuthi ama-sponsorships lamanye ataba khona nekubambiseka kuletinye tinhlangothi titaba khona. The PLE is finalizing a football policy manual that will guide the process of increasing professionalism in the PLE at the league and the club levels. We are finalizing this document and will be conducting workshops with MTN and the PLE members clubs shortly. I wish to thank the PLE Board of Governors and their clubs, the EXCO, PLE staff, and PLE officials for their commitment to ensuring we successfully completed the league on the 14th of May 2023, despite starting the league later than normal. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are here to acknowledge and reward the winners in the different categories for their excellent performances during this season. We congratulate Iniwetlazana Green Mamba, our Premier League champions, and Rangers, our National First Division champions, for their achievements. May I also take this opportunity to also congratulate the individual winners whose personal performances were a cut above the other competitors in the league. As clubs, our conduct during our matches has been embarrassing. The use of muti in our matches that led to our banning club officials is one aspect we are committed on improving in the upcoming season.
Nawe yasebenza emadoda washiya njalo lephasi akunenzaba ukuthi kumbele imvoto lotawufikela ekugcineni sabeka kanganani but ushiye nanayo bese ubhona nanozinje nanayo bese umkhombisa likhono lakho ukuthi wena inet uyayitsabula. Thabiso kwasithole lo bendosi lokujima kuqembu layo-ke ihlathi khulu Tycoons. Siyambonela, siyethemba ukuthi utawuqhubeka this season 2023-2024 ayiphakamisa ikhono lakhe awashaya amagoli abahluphe be-goalkeeper. Umfowethu lo lophana-ke uyashayile amagoli njengoba sibona njenganyalo atawuthola umsebenzi wetinyawo takhe nenhloko yakhe ngokubambisana noko balingani bakhe singabashiyi ngaphandle bendosi ngoba abanye-ke akhona kukwenda kube bekayedwana Felix Mberaperenhos kuthi akhone kuwashaya-ke lawo magoli qini. Ibandla libona ukuthi kube best goalkeeper kube nomlungisi Ncumalo we-Young Buffaloes. Bonga kakhulu, siyachubeka, siyabonga kakhulu umsaka kahle umdlali personal Sinti laphona-ke ku-Young Buffaloes lokubengena Longisi wasebadlalile njengoba ngiyalile kazi bene-interest ngephala-ke ngiyawenda njengoba asimshayele intanda asehla sayohlala phasi. Thank you so much, siyabonga kakhulu, sikufisela inhlanhla kanjalo na this season. Baphakama bethela phambili benkosi laba labatomelela ama-media houses omathathu. Siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi sebavele-ke bakhona benkosi babambene bokusetshelwa la ubhalwa ngale bhola hlatshwa la hlatshwa khona dunyiswa la kufanele kudunyiswe ngumsebenzi wabo laba wendako benkosi. Ngicela ukuthi sibashayele intandla lokungiko-ke lokubabekeke labakhona khona ukuthi lomohla akube khona-ke nanabo indondo labayitholako lokhombisa ukuthi bayibambisile-ke ibhola ekhaya Eswatini ikakhulukazi yona. Sho ukuthi-ke le trophy ngoba ngemva nje ngathi yinye omabili itatli yale inangenganale enye tawucocoma nje bonakala ukuthi lophela leminyaka iba kanjani, livukile linye ngale livukile linye lele ngale, but icala kahle-ke nayicala ngana iba nje umjele ngakhona itabe sesecanyabekisa ngalokuthi kugcina yena kohla itokhansi ihambe bese seyiya somewhere. Thank you saba kakhulu-ke media house. Wase soyidla umhlanganiso umqeqeshi weqembu le-Rangers ka-First Division Mthozi Gininza, cela simshayele intandla kulona-ke as coach of the season ka-First Division Mthozi Gininza sele kuphuma into ezosebenza. Saba kakhulu-ke simbongele kakhulu kwaGininza, siyethemba ukuthi utawuqhubeka ne-this season. Simfisela kuhle, simfisela futhi kanjalo inhlanhla asaqhubeka nokuqeqesha lona-ke iqembu layo-ke i-Rangers. Lokho ngikhuluma i-profit kolokugcina ngathi noma utawubuya naleyini ku-2023-24 kepha-ke kwamanje usebenzile ku-2022-2023. Nasibuka-ke ka-Premier League nakhona babe bathathu bocoach lebe babukwa ikakhulukazi emsebenzini wabo uthi hambela embili umqeqeshi weqembu lelehlasana mabona ahlonishwe Ernest Mafuso bamathi bembabane Highlanders yamathi nyokehlazana kungakulomohla sikhuluma ngabo boshambeni ingoti lesifakile isandla kakhulu-ke kokuthi iqembu linyokehlazana lomohla sikhuluma ngalo liboshambeni benzebe ye-MTN Premier League. Siyambongela kakhulu-ke wamavuso, siyethemba tawuqhubeka uphakamisa umjela noma-live sedlala-ke ngaphandle ekhaya selimelele lona live utawuqhubeka siphakamise le-standard lasikhombisile ikakhulukazi nakafika-ke kuloko iqembu layo-ke i-Green Mamba. Sikamphinza ngetandla benkosi best coach of the year.
Siyabonga kakhulu babe.
Lokutholakele ukuthi ube nge-best assistant referee of the year kube ngumnumzane Sambulo Simelane. Ngingayinamhla wokuthi bo-29 noma bobani bantu bafuna kuhola inyanga isangapheleli bantu sebajahe kuhola sebaba uMr Carmichael, baba uMr Mthetho, baba uMr Simelane, you know. Asimshayele intandla on behalf of Mr. Simelane, siyabonga kakhulu. Umphathi wabo-ke Bonambongo uthatha on behalf of Mr. Sambulo Simelane, best assistant referee. Nimbembeke lo mhlanganiso benkosi kulesizini lesisuka kuyo kube ngumnumzane sicela uMosa Siphepo batasichazela batachazela phasi usibebayephi alelanga nakushonela sicela uMosa Siphepo kube ngiyona-ke ngiyethemba ukuthi benkosi ubukiwe umsebenzi wakhe watholakala ukuthi hhayi athikho kanganani kumbe thikho igaba betibe khona ikhathi enkundleni asawuchuba umdlalo bebonakele ukuthi udla umhlanganiso uhamba yedwa embili thembe kosoka hlanze libe kakhulu leqembu le-Rangers ngicela simshayele intandla asedangambili best pro ka-First Division kahlanze asimshayele intandla ngicabanga ukuthi ngomphathi wakhe Themba Inkosi lo utafika alivete phasela njengoba linjalo laphana-ke kuThemba Inkosi liphasela lakhe la 4,000 emalangeni. Kanti-ke nasibuka-ke laphana-ke ka-Premier League nakhona betibambene ngehluthu-ke nakhona betibambene ngehluthu kakhulu-ke laphana ka-Premier League. But the winner is Leopards Mr. Frank Hurube. Cela simphone ehlombe simshayele intandla. Mr. Frank Hurube. Frank madoda so faka bona ye shayo kile nje ngoba yathi okay Frank Hurube ikakhulukazi na uqhubeka indaba siyabonga kakhulu ngobenkosi kumphathi wakhe lobonakala ukuthi ummeleleke ikakhulukazi lotamniketa-ke ikakhulukazi ehlangothini labo Paul. Thank you so much on behalf of Frank Hurube. Our first division fair play. Team Likambo Mays 11 FC. Talent. Jingela wambo. Kocha engineer Likambo. Jingela na wambo lo Likambo Mays 14 FC. Mnumzana Pedro. Wona-ke nobonakala ukuthi iqembu lakhe namathimba lokubhonsa kushisa tinjana bebathi bamba nje bangabese bagijimisa nembembe bangabese sekushisa kufuba bangene ebhasini bangene emakhumbini bahamba babile ekhaya. Thank you so much. Siyabonga kakhulu is14 siyethemba lokuqhubeka naso leso spirit leso. Iqembu lengwe emabalabala lithola i-award ye-fair play lokushoko nokuthi baliqembu leli liphathe kahle-ke tingothamba kahle noma tingahambi kahle ngoba kumcoka kubalulekile lokho kokuthi ngoba ngona lokho alikhuthathe ama-sponsors kokuthi noma sidliwe sihambe kahle nje siphume kahle enkundleni siye emakhaya kungabonakali sowumele umdlalo sowulahlekile nombembe ngoba bese bamgijimisa but sithi bambe nje kuthi bathi besekugcineni kwalowo mdlalo. Thank you. Siyabonga kakhulu ingoma balabala. Iqembu le Ilovo FC ngicela sibashayele intanda. As runners up ka first division kube liqembu le Ilovo FC. Siyaqhubeka bese safuka MTN Premier League kube iqembu lamathole ezinyathi iYoung Buffaloes. Ngicela sibashayele intandla nabo basedana mbili. In first division. The first division. Ufuna kumkhanza kishima ka Premier League lomdlali la. Umdlali welcome le Rangers. Sabona kakhulu mfana sibona simpize ngohlobo futhi. Mfana sibona kumele. Thank you so much. Sifuna futhi ukuqhubeka na umsebenzi wakho lowendile. Phinde uthi ugiya kancane kuliphakamisa nje. Umdlali welcome le nyokohlazana ngibona hlonishwe player of the season Silwane semandla. Siyawufela emandleni. Xolisa Mkhonto weMamba. Xolisa Mkhonto weMamba. Una futhi ukugcina sifuna lapha sifuna sokubabethela bakamkhonto. Kunenza bayiphetha. Ambato sibabanjwe bangakumkhonto 11. Ngoba kumele sale baba neqembu labo nje umkhonto 11 bathathe udlulele inkomishi Kulelo labapho yona lana kubalelo labadlali bakamkhonto gqithi Hlabane bahle kakhulu siyabonga kakhulu-ke Celiso bengabhekene nabo sondenzima benkosi njengoba ngikhuluma ngaFelix Berenhorst ngikhuluma ngaNjabulo Thwana badlali labakhombisa ikhono labo lesetulu kakhulu kodwa-ke siyamangalisela umkhonto kokuthi agcine ahlabene lelikhono lelikhombisako ngiyaphinza once again kokuthi asikhombise nakusihlangu somnikati benkosi sigcine sibuya nayo lenkomishi yeKhosafa lena-ke Thobeni
Sengiselekthile wamfaka kusihlalo.
ukhona
Uselekthele ke phela.
no ngamkhanza vele akhona vele ngamfaka.
I'm honored and humbled at this massive compliment and opportunity on behalf of the Executive Committee of Eswatini Football Association and the entire football family to address this ceremony to decorate the exceptional teams, personalities and organizations of the recently accomplished MTN Premier and National First Division leagues. I consequently, from the onset, would like to express our candid distinction to MTN for the customary generous sponsorship and investment that continue to endure to our national senior league. The football family has remained connected everywhere. The league, being the most prestigious, particularly as it covers the full length of football season calendar, is supreme as it provides a customary measure of performance consistency. To our football clubs and football competitions management system throughout the year. This, therefore, gives all stakeholders the opportunity to mature in their respective areas of responsibility in the football business.
Liqembu eTulo Sporting esinamandla, liqembu le-Rangers besifazane mabona hlonishwe leqembu le-Green Mamba ngicela sibashele intandla basephambili ukuthi awuthola shelo labo.
Ngabonga umdali kungivikela kuma injuries because akukho lula kudlala isizini yonke ungatholi injury. Ngabonga nje kulomdala ukuthi insuku kungivikela. Ngithathe lethuka ngibonge bo coach technical staff ma drills bebasinika wona abe bekangilezi ezingeni lesetulu kakhulu. Ngibonge ama players. Ngibonge president isupport bekasinika yona kusuka kucala ileague kuze kube semaphethelweni bekasimotivate kakhulu each and every game. Bekahlala anathi
ngabo coach bami labanginikela ithuba lokuthi ngibe part of the team abangethemba ngale assignment lebe banginike yona. Ufuna phindze ngibonge my teammates who have always been behind my back, especially my captain Bongani Mvubu. I think he played a huge role ukuthi ngibe la ngikhona khona. Ngiva ngithokoze kakhulu kulokwina le award. Hayi ukuthi ke ngoba ngathi bengcono, but ke lokuthi bangichoose nje amongst labanye abadlali, it means a lot game. Kusho lokukhulu kakhulu kimi.